About 5 months ago, I made a video covering the tragic story of a streamer named Raphael Gravin, known online as Jean Parmenov. He was a streamer who was, for a long period of time, physically and verbally abused by people he considered to be his closest friends for their Kick content. And they were in the middle of a Kick marathon where Jean was once again the punching bag and the spittoon for them to basically torture throughout the entire thing. And after enduring so much exploitation and abuse, he eventually passed away on stream during this marathon. It is a disturbing, horrible thing to watch, and it is an extremely sad story. Obviously, people were very upset, rightfully outraged about the whole thing, so there were calls for action to try and get some justice here, get these Kick streamers held accountable for their potential role in his passing. And I wanted to give you a little update because it's been a while. This had been a lengthy investigation that is still ongoing, but two streamers here involved in this have been taken into custody. Owen Sananzin. Oh, I sound like a fucking idiot. Wow, I can't read that last name at all. I sound like I'm malfunctioning, like someone's got me on the DJ's turntable and he keeps remixing it. Owen and Safine Hamadi. They were taken into custody yesterday as part of a months-long probe into an on-camera death broadcast via the Kick platform. Now, many of you might remember the initial response from those involved in this marathon of abuse was to basically deny all responsibility, saying things like, his health was just bad, he liked to smoke and stuff, really bad stuff. Sucks to see him gone. He was like my best bud, my best pal. I love that guy, man. I'm real torn up over it. I can't believe it. But I had nothing to do with it. You guys are fucking stupid for thinking I had something to do with it. In fact, you're the monster for even thinking that me on camera beating him and, strangling him and all this had anything to do with his passing or anything at all. Ridiculous. That's been their whole strategy, is to just deny it and pretend like they're best friends and they're still so torn up that he's gone. Can't believe that this happened. It boiled down to them just playing a sad song on the world's smallest violin about how everyone's being so mean to them without stopping to consider their feelings about their friend dying during the stream of them abusing him for many days. And then, at one point, if I remember correctly, they even threatened legal action for people saying some defamatory things or whatever. It was a fucking mess. It was embarrassing and cruel. But it looks like French authorities are not buying the crocodile tears here from those Kick streamers. They're being held on charges including assault, incitement to hatred, abuse of a vulnerable person, and recording and broadcasting violent images, according to the chief prosecutor. Now, you'll also notice in the paragraph above that an autopsy revealed that the death was not caused by intervention by a third party. This means that Raphael Gravin did not pass away due to physical trauma or any injuries that he suffered at the hands of the streamers or anything like that. It was due to other medical conditions. So you'll notice that they're not pursuing charges of homicide. They're not trying to get these big slam dunk charges of these streamers killed this man on stream. Instead, they're going for what is clearly evident in all of the footage of their streams together. Physical abuse, assault, stuff like that. Which I think is pretty obvious. You can watch them do that. That is the bulk of their content. They were abusing this man. They were exploiting this man. And they were recording all of it for their content, and they were making money off it. It was their careers built off the back of their abuse of this man. It is fucking sickening stuff. So even though he may not have passed away as a result of all of the abuse he suffered from them, it certainly didn't help his underlying medical conditions in any way, shape, or form. We also have that text message that Raphael Gravin sent to his mother, talking about how awful it is, the abuse that he suffered, that kind of thing. So they certainly weren't exactly angels here, and they didn't do anything to help him in any way. Even if they weren't directly responsible for his death, I definitely think it didn't help things at the very least. And these charges, I think, are probably pretty strong. I would imagine they stick because you can watch all of them yourself. Like, it's all just right there at your fingertips. It would be shocking if they don't end up behind bars. If this doesn't lead to them going to the slammer, I really would be stunned. This had been many months investigating. There is hours and hours and hours worth of content showcasing their abuse of this individual. I feel like it's an extremely strong case, but we'll see how it all shakes out. If you remember, they were actually taken in by authorities a while back, but they were released. This, I do think, is different, especially after months of investigating, so I'm pretty confident that there will be at least some level of justice here for everything they did. What that looks like with time in jail, I don't know. I guess we'll see, but this should be a very severe punishment. What they did to that guy is beyond fucked up, and his passing is extremely sad. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of give you an update here to the story, and really, that's about it. So yeah.